One take wonder.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Cult Fashion Podcast, episode 93, where we will be shining the spotlight on 1990s cult classic. We shall find out Tremors. I'm your host this time round, and as ever, Ish. I'm joined by
Paul Hawkins
and Brett Summers.
So tonight, as I said, it's the spotlight on Tremors, but before we dig into that, see what I did there?
Ooh.
I suppose we should do the usual
The
catch
bit
up and
bit
what's
you
been
don't
happening,
like.
the bit I don't like,
the social bit.
waffle about TV nonsense.
That's what
So,
we do.
how we doing? What's been going down in Groovetown?
So,
I've
so,
been ill.
so the
You've
wife.
been ill?
He's been ill. That's one of the reasons we haven't been here.
Oh yeah, we didn't do it last week, did we?
Well, the week before, because my wife was off in Ireland while I was looking after kids.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And then I was ill. So we apologise to that, people. But we're back now. Even still with a bad throat, which you'll hear. It does sound like I'm going through a bit of puberty at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm
You're up. You're
I'm
down.
sort of like this. And I'm like, oh, no.
Sometimes you're Batman. Sometimes you're the Flash. Yeah. So just keeping the kids entertained for me. That's been about it.
Fair enough. Okay.
You don't like the small talk anyway.
No, it's true, but
I'm always reluctant to ask you. Been doing anything?
no.
There we go then. The circle is complete.
I've painted the decking. I've painted the
Wax on, wax off.
outside bar.
Are you now a martial arts monster?
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. All right then. So what have we been watching?
Well, on one of the days I was keeping the kids entertained, we went to the cinema.
Ooh.
There was only one film that Connor wanted to see. Super Mario Brothers.
Verdict?
That's all right. He likes it.
It's getting good buzz from the kids at school.
Yeah, but I always go, it's a good animated film if you have to watch it over and over and over and over and over again. Because if you have kids, that's invariably what you're going to have to do. I'm not fussed about seeing this ever again.
Although there was a nice bit at school where one of the kids said it was better when it was the fat Mario from the cartoon in the 90s. And I went, Captain Lou Albano, the wrestling manager. And he went, yeah, he hosted it and then it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And so somewhere,
Yeah.
kids know about that and think that's a better Mario. So I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
I
So
miss the internet.
I mean, what's the plot? Is it anything? Is it the similar kind of nonsense as the 90s? Was it 90s?
the one with Bob
Yeah.
Hoskins. Pretty much, yeah. So they
And John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
What's his name?
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so they go down the tunnels trying to save the city. You know, the down on the luck plumbers end up going to a different world. Luigi, to be fair, goes off to this dark world headed up by Bowser. Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom, hooks up with Princess Peach.
I'm yawning. We've already.
You asked me what it was
I know,
about.
but I really, to be fair, a simple yes would have
Oh,
sufficed.
do they rescue a princess?
Yeah.
Well, no, she kind of rescues him
No.
because it's all modern and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though Shrek did it with Princess Fiona, you know. But yeah, it's all right.
Fair enough.
They've incorporated some of the computer games, and you kind of know how it's going to end. And yeah, anyway, killed 2 hours, killed 80 quid with sweets. So yeah,
How
kept the
much
kids
sweets
entertained.
do you have?
Well, the tickets were like 40 quid because it was the expensive cinema, and the sweets and drinks were about 40
Where do you
quid.
go to watch it? Hollywood? Is it? I'm sure I've not paid that much in cinema.
That's how I treat my kids, Brett. no,
Well,
but,
no, I'm just like.
but they wanted pick and mix and stuff.
He gets to recline in seats and everything.
Yeah. yeah, if I have to go to the cinema, I'm going to do it in
Never takes us, does he?
style.
I don't even take pictures.
To be fair, there hasn't been a film out at the cinema that I'd want to watch.
Well, to be honest,
Yes.
Cocaine Bear.
Guardians
Brought
of
me
the
back.
Galaxy 3 is coming out.
Yeah, I'm up for that. You can buy sweets.
I was
He's-
just, I was
You
just
he's
can
on
have
for
my
it.
sweets because I'm not going.
I was just thinking of
I
reclining,
like those ones.
Not enough to go to the cinema, I don't.
reclining chair and alcohol at the cinema as well, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm there
It's
already.
not selling.
Okay, well, Brett, it's a date.
I'll check if I'm allowed.
Yeah, so cinema done. New one on Apple, trying to get my subscription fee. So obviously Ted Lasso, don't need to talk about that because there's no point watching it anymore because you might as well just watch Wrexham. But Ghosted.
Did you see the trailer for the new series of Wrexham the other night?
No.
They won a game and went up.
So Ghosted is a new film on Apple.
Ooh.
It's with Chris Evans and Anna Diarmas. She's the very good-looking female lead in this. So Chris Evans is a role reversal. So Chris Evans is the hapless farmer's son,
I think I might have watched this.
and Anna Diarmas is the secret agent or the CIA
Yeah,
agent.
because everyone thinks he's the one that's the assassin or something. Or another.
That's right.
Yeah, I got bored, stopped watching it because they got no chemistry whatsoever.
No, and even for Chris Evans, who's like a Hollywood star or MCU star, it even felt like he was hitting way above his weight.
Yeah.
But it just seems.
Hey, look, Moose walks into cinema.
Breaks
a
it
donkey.
in, people.
I know it is a moose.
You should just do that.
Yeah,
That does not happen in East London that much.
No. Sorry.
no, it's fine. So we've just seen this kind of trope before, where it's the female heroine that kind of role reversal.
Well, I thought you'd be bigger.
There was one bit that you would like because even I quite liked it.
Go on,
So
I'm not going to watch it.
So where Chris Evans is like executive producer on this,
Yeah.
he's obviously pulled a few strings and got a lot of the Marvel crew back for like a 5-minute shot where they're all bounty hunters trying to get him and they all pick each other off. So that was quite nice.
That's where the money went.
Yeah. But other than that, it's kind of a waste of time. It's a real shame compared to some of the stuff that's been on Netflix and Amazon. For Apple, it just felt a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I stopped watching it. Got bored.
Yeah. Well, I was getting my money worth. So there's that. Yeah, I was watching it till the bitter end, and it was a kind of bitter end.
Cool.
Mr. Summers, let's do a little bit of chopping and changing rather than go through a list.
I can't remember. Did we speak of the finale of Beyond Paradise?
We haven't
No,
spoken
we haven't.
about the finale.
Please don't, because I'm still too behind.
Okay.
Even
Sorry.
I've caught up and watched the finale.
Well, I've been a busy man.
Okay.
It was
so-
really, really sad.
Okay, well, we'll move on to that later on then. I have seen Mandalorian Season 3.
Oh, I don't care. You can talk about that till I haven't watched it, but
Amazing.
Yeah.
Probably the best Star Warsy show going at the moment.
Well, it's the only one going.
No, but like, I mean, even though it's got the great, it's got the funny, it's got the seriousness, and it's just setting up so much that, again, we know what happens next. Although Rey apparently is getting her own film now, so we'll see what happens there.
wonderful.
But they can't do any worse. But no, brilliant. Loads of mythology in it, loads of references, and the last couple of episodes, Jack Black and Lizzo turn up in one of them.
There was, didn't we speak about this? The amount of cameos.
So has it finished now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is no after credits thing, so don't sit there. Just saying.
I probably wouldn't have done
Saving
that.
people time if you haven't got to that bit yet, because I did. And
I must admit, the amount of flack. I mean, the worst thing about Star Wars fans is they have to complain about something.
It's gatekeeper bullshit.
And now
it's the same with music.
But now it's all the fact that it's supposed to be about the Mandalorian, but he's taking almost like he's not taking centre stage anymore. It's like, well, the whole thing is.
Pedro Pascal not even turning up anymore. He's just doing the voice in pre-production. There's other guys. They've said the other guys are the Mandalorian. Now he just voices the Mandalorian. Because it's like, but again, why pay him to be there when he's not gonna?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
But it's more the fact that his character isn't necessarily leading all the scenes. It's like they're trying to introduce more characters and all this kind of stuff.
Well, again, now they've almost now set up. You can have a Mandalorian spin-off from this now, which will be very good, and then you can have him at the end, sort of being a sort of work for hire guy for the almost bounty hunter like, but he didn't quite say it that way. And for the rebels, no, not the rebels now, the new, because they won.
Yeah.
At the edge of the galaxy where they haven't really got that strong enough presence.
Galaxy's Edge, at Disney World. Keeping out the tourists.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I had no problem with it. I had no problem with cameos if they could. I mean, Christopher Lloyd was in one.
Yeah, he was in the same one with Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black. And having, the guy who was in a DeLorean in The Mandalorian, I can see that was the only reason there, just so they could get that joke in, I think. And to be fair, as soon as I saw him, I knew that he may be the person who might be causing them a little bit of problem. Otherwise, why would you have him in it?
Fair enough.
And but Jack Black was fine in it. I thought Lizzo was fine in it. I mean, I've got no.
Completely weren't needed, but hey.
But they didn't.
But that's the whole point about Star Wars. Is people want to be in it.
They didn't make it any worse.
No.
It wasn't like, oh, they're in it, that's terrible now. And you got all these fans that are going, oh, it's just becoming something famous people can go into. It's like, yeah, loads of people like Star Wars. Also, you're 48, you fell in love with it when you were 5. Think about that.
Yeah.
Put it into a context. It's grown, it's going to go in different directions. It's going to move on. A New Hope as a piece of cinema isn't that brilliant as a story.
Careful now.
No, I love it. It's my favourite Star Wars film still. But it's plot hole centric, and a lot of it doesn't really make sense, especially since of all the other stuff they've added and chopped and changed in it.
I must admit, during the week off, I said to Connor, do you want to put like Star Wars on? I said, yeah, okay. We put on Rise of Skywalker and we just turned off after 10 minutes. I was really, oh my God, I can't, why?
But again, Mandalorian has explained more of that in this series than they did in that whole film. Because it's like, I don't know if they're on damage control as well to make sure. I know you're going to say, can't look at you, but I'm trying to be inclusive.
No, I am saying.
Oh, you want me to move on?
If you want to do a Star Wars spin-off podcast, fill your boots.
Okay.
Right, what else have you
Got
got
on my studio time.
Okay, something else I've watched, and you forced me to bring this further onto the list. Power Rangers Once and Always.
Oh, Christ almighty.
It was the 30-year anniversary special, which was nearly an hour, because Netflix own the franchise now, and they brought some of the old ones back, and I mean, whilst keeping the style of the 90s cartoon, so it's still a bit cheesy and a bit here and there. And you actually see the death of Trinity the Yellow Ranger, although the actress that played her died like 20 years ago or something. But they had to, and now her daughter's come into it because she wants to, do what Mum did and all that. And they do a nice sort of black and white bit at the end with a picture of her and a picture of Jason David Frank, once and always a Ranger type thing. But it's cool. I can see what Netflix are doing. They're going to push the nostalgia button. They own it now. They want as much money as they can from it. And there's all sorts of new shows coming. I got a feeling that the new Yellow Ranger of that one will end up in the new series somehow as well, with a lot more younger people rather than. But most of them didn't seem to miss a step. One of them is clearly a lot older than he was back in the 90s, but most of them can still pass.
Beer belly or something.
Well, I think he's had a bit of work done, so it kind of makes it stick out a little bit more. Old Billy the Blue Ranger. But be interesting to see what your nipper thinks of it. A lot of the kids at school like it, and for some reason they still remember the.
Do you want to subject your children to Power Rangers?
No, but I didn't think, because they were like, "Oh, but this is it's the original one, sir," and I'm like, "Oh, is it?" I don't know. But it was, even they knew, and that was, it's 93.
Yeah, but.
Yeah,
but they probably got Google.
Google,
so
they watched them all.
Okay.
And it's, again, it always amazes me that we talk about, it's 30 odd years in now, and there's been a new series every year. And still making money, and now Netflix get that money.
Good for them.
So
let them flog that.
They've got the, is it Carmen Riders? Cayman.
Have they bought that as well now?
But there was a new series on Netflix. And I must admit, I was
You were tempted.
I didn't know what it was to start with. You know how you just like go on something and it starts playing the thing.
Yeah.
So, oh, that looks all right. It's like Kamen Riders.
Yeah, that's
Something.
another one that's been going for 100 years. And that's another one like Super Sentai.
Yeah, but this looks like it was quite good production.
I think
quality
that
as
I think that one's made for the older. I think Kamen Rider is like the older teenagers. It's a bit more serious. Power Rangers is sort of your middle school, and then Ultraman.
It's not though, is it? It's for the 40, 50-year-olds.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
That,
Oh,
like,
that
go
were
to
that.
conventions.
And Ultraman was more like for your little kids because he just grew big and fought everyone and all that. That was always, I think, how it was looked at in Japanese eyes. But I've also have you seen Picard season 3 yet, Paul?
No,
Do yourself a favour and watch Picard season 3.
I've heard good things about it. Just haven't got around to watching it yet.
Skip 1 and 2.
No, I can't do that.
No, honestly, 1 and 2 mean nothing.
No, but I can't do that.
Why?
Well, it's one of the reasons I watched all the episodes of TNG. I have to watch all the episodes. Can't just skip 1 and 2.
No, but honestly, they are literally, they have
What, episode 1 and 2?
series 1 and 2.
I know I've watched them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, I just haven't watched season 3 yet.
When you hit season 3, season 1, 2 never happens,
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. They've kind of, no, you'll really enjoy it. 'Cause
Alright.
You're more die hard into it than I am, but like a lot of deep mining of plots and characters and events of years
No,
gone by and all that.
I've had positive
It was
reactions.
very good. I actually, what annoyed me is I left it, and I watched them all, and I was like, oh, it's weird it ends after 9 episodes.
But Will Wheaton's not back in it though,
I
is he?
don't know. No, but he appeared at the end of season 2.
Yeah, no, but he's not back for season 3.
No.
No, shame. It's just after my audiobooks of listening to Will Wheaton. I was
But was your hero.
looking forward to it.
And then after watching them all, after waiting, I realised there was an episode 10, and I had to wait another week for it in the UK. But I managed to, luckily,
Fly over to the States.
yeah, I was going to work in America that week, so I went and watched it.
Good old school convention.
I've got 2 more things I've got to let. Amy, what have you been watching?
So I've started watching Yellowstone, following your
Sure.
recommendation.
Shell's
Yeah.
done when she was over in Ireland. I
Yeah.
think she's done them all.
Done them all.
I'm about season 3, I think.
But she was talking about there's some prequel and then some sequel season series. Or
There is a
something.
prequel because that's got Harrison Ford and
Prime Suspect.
yeah, I was going to
Helen
say Miranda
Mirren?
Richardson, but that's
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, that's the one. I'm only, I don't know, 5 episodes into season 1. I get why it's popular, and it's got almost a Sons of Anarchy vibe to it because everyone in it is an arsehole.
Yeah.
But so you've got to find the arsehole you want to root for.
But it's more.
But I really struggled to see Kevin Costner as an arsehole.
Yeah.
That's
You get more arseholes as it goes along.
The only thing
You get more things come out. Like, have you got to the bit yet?
not that I'm a Kevin Costner fan, but you know what I mean. Like all the roles he's played, pretty much.
apart from that one where he's a psycho killer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
He played a serial killer.
JFK?
No. He plays a serial killer. He's really good in it.
Waterworld.
No.
The
It's what,
Postman.
Mr. Banks, or not Mr. Banks, it's something like that.
Saving- Mary Poppins, isn't it?
Saving
No,
Mr. Banks.
it's not that.
film
I
was-
said it's
that
something
film was
like
all
that.
lies as well, were they?
Not important. Anyway, yeah. So
But you know, you do get more
It
like.
is good,
Have you got
but-
to the bit yet where they.
no,
when-
probably not. But literally about 5 episodes into season 1.
They're dropping him at the train station.
Yeah. The long train, the long
long-
dark train, or the
Yeah,
long,
well, and you suddenly realise that everyone that you've seen go to the train station has been murdered.
Yeah.
There's a few people when you watch back, well, I'm just dropping him at the station and that, and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks. That was the film where it was a serial killer.
But there is,
Not heard of it.
It's a good film.
Okay.
for me, it was about, is either the end of season 1 or the first year into season 2, and it was like, yeah, I'm in now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can see
Yeah.
it's good, and it's production
But
wise.
there's a bit where it gets to, then you're like, right, I'm in now, and I just don't have time to
I
watch
have
it
to
properly.
keep reminding myself that it was made in 2018, the first season anyway.
Yeah.
So when they're doing the flashbacks, I'm thinking, well, why don't they just, deep fake Kevin Costner to make it, But that didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's literally that has only come about in the last
Sort of 18 months.
18,
or so,
18 months, 2 years. So it's really struggled to see that the guy that's playing a young Kevin Costner looks nothing like Kevin Costner. You got to keep reminding yourself that it's supposed to be the dad. But yeah, it's worth watching. Clearly, it's worth watching. This is 6 seasons and a prequel, so
Yeah.
And a
it's got to be
film.
doing something right. Is it?
There's a Yellowstone like 1880 something. I
That's the
don't know.
prequel.
That the prequel, but
Mhm.
there's another one.
Well, they say that the prequel could be a film for all I know. I don't.
There's 3 on the go. There's 3 on the go at the moment. But one of them was a film. But the film is more, I think, when how the town gets founded.
Is there one with a
Maybe
friendly
that is
bear that steals picnic basket?
No.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
Sorry,
It's alright. It's alright.
I just get my coat.
What else have you been watching, Paul?
Oh, me. So I did Cocaine Bear.
What did you
I had
think?
my fix of that. I thought it was alright. It was sufficiently gory.
They should have put that on the poster. Sufficiently gory.
Where it needed to be. It was good for what it was trying to do. You know, it was just a rom-com of thrills and spills and a bear that's high on coke.
You just said that, just reminded me, there was someone this week whose book came out, I can't remember who it was, and he'd given a copy to Neil Gaiman to review so he could get a Neil Gaiman strapline on the book. And when you got the book, it's going, really sorry I lost it, but I imagine it's good. Neil Gaiman. And he's put that on there.
So would I. I definitely would.
But yes, I carry on.
No, so yeah, it was what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, but it was good. Don't get me wrong. Also, Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania. I finally got round to watching that. No, I really struggled with this one.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of it. So
I mean, it is a bit long, but
no, not that. I mean, I struggled with a lot of the film.
yeah.
Like, you know, they shrink down to like molecular size, but they can still breathe when they're bigger than air particles. I struggle with that.
Yeah, but the quantum realm's within the other films as well. And remember, that's a
Yeah, but they've got the costumes, haven't they? They should be wearing that, having the air that's
it's
shrunk
based on
down.
their costumes, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't wear the costumes when they're in the quantum realm, so how do they breathe?
No, there was something over it. They did explain that.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a whole society in the quantum realm, which again, it just felt like.
Well, it should have been the Micronauts. Do you remember the Micronauts?
But it felt like they should have taken it, forgotten about the quantum realm, just done it on another planet. Not Ant-Man and Wasp. It could have been anything. It would have been quite good. But the fact that it was Ant-Man shrinking down and the whole family shrinking down to...
Well, it's based on the Micronauts. as well.
Yeah, but the only good thing about it was MODOK.
Yeah. I thought that was a good way of doing it, and the fact they made
Yeah.
it that way because he didn't shrink properly.
Yeah, but that was the only good takeaway that I had from the film. But the rest was...
What about Kang?
No, just not fussed. He wasn't that good a enemy in Quantumania, and yet I know that, you know, at the end where you got all of the
different versions
Yeah.
of him through time or whatever.
But yeah,
Although he's been in a bit of trouble now, so it'd be interesting to see how they get rid of that.
the film just felt like a filler, similar to like Thor: God of War, Love and Thunder. You know, yeah, the whole thing about MCU.
So I thought it was better than Love and Thunder.
It was better. Yeah. It was, but that's not saying much. MCU have just really struggled since Endgame, and you know, it doesn't feel like they've got anything really to come other than Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that I'm actually really interested in.
No, fair enough.
Because
We'll see.
as I said, you know, I'm not too fussed about Kang leading the way as the next villain or villains. Yeah, the MCU just seems to have lost its way over the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but then people have to give the new characters a chance as well, where they go, well, she's not Iron Man, so I'm not watching it.
Yeah, but Ant-Man isn't a new character.
Oh, you know, and it has actually done really well, despite people saying, oh, it's awful.
But there hasn't been much out to compete with it.
But I did like the fact that when he was listening to his own audiobook and things like that.
Yeah, there were nice touches there. Don't get me wrong, it had nice set scenes and bits of humour thrown in. That was all cool.
But my problem was they didn't have that bloke retelling a story. His mate.
His mate, yeah.
That's always one of the nicest bits where he has to retell it. But yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have been more funny if he'd have been sucked into the quantum realm with them, you know. But yeah, I didn't really care for any of the slug characters or anything like that, or any of the people in the quantum realm, because you're supposed to like get drawn into their relationships. But
the quantum realm got shortchanged as well, because as I say, it should be all the Micronauts and everything, and they didn't really. They just made up a load of other ones. I don't know if it's if we put those characters in, we might have to pay the creators or maybe. Whatever else. So it was a bit.
Yeah, but I said not really blown away by it.
Cool.
MODOK was good though.
Yeah. Demondor?
You finished?
Oh.
Okay. Chapelwaite. This is on Amazon, but I think it might be Paramount.
Explain.
Oh.
I'm excited.
It's got no, don't be. It's got Adrian Brody in it. It's set in 18 something or another. And following the death of his wife, he moves his family to the sawmill that he's recently inherited in some sort of backwater town.
Has there ever been someone who won an Oscar and then just went completely backwards? As much as I like everything Adrian Brody's in. He's good in Peaky Blinders. I mean, he was good in he was just done a pilot episode of what's it called? Female Columbo.
Right.
I was talking about it the other week.
You were?
Yeah.
Well, he's in that, and I forgot what it's called now. And he's been in a few other things here and there, and he's really good in it. But
yeah, he's not bad in this, but it's just boring.
Pianist. No, he's the pianist, and he won an Oscar. And it's like.
So yeah, he goes back to the sawmill that he's inherited with obviously a big house. The house appears to be haunted. The townsfolk don't like him because they didn't like the family that were there before, his family that he inherited it from. But every episode's just too long. It's like 45, 50-minute episodes, but for a haunted house story.
They're dragging it out, as opposed to if it was an hour and a half film, it might have been quite...
Yeah, or even just trying not to eke out every scene.
Is it just the woman in black?
No, it's not even... I say there's actually nothing wrong with it. It is just boring. So by the time like a scare comes, or you can tell they're trying to build tension.
Does it start with him moving back to the place?
Yeah, no. Well, it starts. He's a captain of a whaling ship, and his wife dies.
I think I've seen the first one, and then I didn't watch it again.
Yeah,
I know you're saying it. It does ring a bell.
We started watching it, and I thought, yeah, first episode was crap. But through lack of anything else to watch, and sometimes you got to give these things some time.
Yeah.
But 3, maybe 4 episodes in, we've not gone back to it and started watching Yellowstone instead. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I might go back and watch it at some point.
Might not.
But it's probably going to turn out to be fucking vampires or something anyway. That's what they normally do.
Okay.
So I wouldn't bother. Next up, come on, Paul. Let's get this.
Okay, so
moving.
Well, the only one I want to talk about really is the first episode of, I think it's Malpractice, dropped on ITV.
Oh, that was last night when we're recording it.
Or a couple of nights. Oh no, it's 2 nights ago. It dropped.
Okay. All right.
But then I went to the freshest streaming service and
with the X.
We went to ITVX and then we watched the rest of the series as well. And finished it last night. I think it's only like 5 episodes, something like that. It's alright. So it's about a doctor.
No spoilers.
No. So it's about a doctor that makes a mistake.
It's like as if he doesn't do it.
No, I don't give out spoilers. But hence the name is about a doctor that makes a mistake. There's an investigation, but it turns out that there's other stuff going on that we have to find out as the episodes go on.
Oh, cool.
The lead actress, who I can't remember, is good in it. We were struggling for the first episode to work out whether it was some old Corrie actress that left Corrie about 5 years ago, but it's not.
No.
Because we're there going, oh, she's got on a
mean.
really good Irish accent. She's doing that really well, but it's not her.
No.
But she's a good actress in it. The plot falls down a little bit as it progresses, but yeah, it's all right, and it's just a nice way of getting people to get sucked into ITVX a bit more and getting the
fresh,
yeah, getting the ratings up there.
Cool, Mr. Summers.
Okay, I've got 2 left. One's more just I just need to talk about it and get it off my chest in a therapeutical way, and the other is Renfield.
Why does that ring a bell?
Nicolas Cage is Dracula.
Oh yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult is Renfield, his long-suffering assistant, and we see kind of. It's you need to watch it. I mean, it's hashtag Cage Watch to begin with, and then they do these awesome bits at the beginning. It's only over a couple of minutes, but you get like how they met and all that. But it is spot on, like Bela Lugosi, 1922, sort of James Whale directed kind of Dracula, like almost down to the circle on the cinema camera and all that sort of thing, and like almost frame by frame they've gone, because it's Cage, so he's probably made them do that. No, we're just going to tell.
I doubt it. What are you talking about?
No, he loves all that stuff. He's made this film so he can keep all the stuff. So he's gone back and done the 1920s one, and then you see the modern day. And it's all about like the suffering of the familiar, and it's like so Renfield's going off. They're living sort of underground, and sort of the underground sort of train things, a bit like Beauty and the Beast, the old TV show.
Yeah.
Sort of underground New York, whatever. And Renfield sneaks out from time to time to go to his therapy group, where it's people who are in abusive relationships.
Is it good?
It's really good. I mean, there's some really, really, really clever moments which show the genius that it could be, but then it kind of does take the path you expect it to take.
And Nick Cage turns up in this, I guess.
Nick Cage is full on Nick Cage,
cool.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult, I mean, you got to remember, this is the kid from About a Boy, who then went on to Skins, who then done a turn with the X-Men and a few other things, and he's pretty much an A-lister himself now. He's doing really well, and he's, when you're rubbing shoulders on scene with Nicolas Cage and people are still interested in you, that's.
I don't know. I mean, how many films has Nick Cage made? Therefore, it's almost Kevin Bacon-esque,
Yeah, no. I see what you're saying, but he brings that. He roots it, and I think that's what Cage needs now. He needs Cage. No, he almost needs like to be like a double act, where the other guy is actually.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it sounds like you're trying to cage the cage.
Yeah, he does need it though.
Well, he worked well with Pedro Pascal in the one where he played Nick Cage.
So you've got Pascal to keep him
grounded
a bit more.
I get it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and what was that one we watched when it was out in the desert and he
Raising Arizona?
No, there was that one in the future. Remember? Or did I only? Was I the only one who reviewed it?
I think.
And it was the ghost and the so-and-so, and
it
was. I mean, that was just like someone just gave him a bottle of J's and Coke and let him go and film some stuff, and it was alright, but it was off its tits.
Yeah.
But this is more grounded, and then after that, so go and check that out at the local cinemas. It's worth it. I did Barney Popcorn, and snuck some in, and then I watched the most meta of meta films. It focuses on a successful Latino pop star, played by Jennifer Lopez, who, it's not really our remit, but I need to mention it just to get on my chest.
Were you made to watch this film? It was like, can we watch Renfield? Yeah, only if we watch...
Yeah, catch him. And then, and basically, Sarah Silverman takes her, she's, I think, supposed to be lesbian, takes her work buddy Owen Wilson and his daughter to the concert.
Oh, yeah.
And Jennifer Lopez is going to marry this Latino hip-hop guy on stage and all that, and just before she goes out, there's a video leaks on sort of not TMZ, but TMZ, and he's banging her assistant, and she decides that Owen Wilson's holding this sign saying "marry me," and she's like, "Yes," and he's like, "Well, he doesn't realise what's on the sign because he's hapless, lovable Owen Wilson, who's a maths teacher, single dad, struggling to make ends meet in NYC." And they get together, and at first it's all for the camera, paparazzi, and then it all just sort of
sounds like a Hallmark movie, but
now
budget.
I must confess. Oh, and Jennifer Lopez's manager is the dude from Game of Thrones.
Is this just not like the Hugh Grant film?
Probably
With Jennifer Roberts, or whatever her name is.
Julia Roberts.
Probably. Where she's the famous actress, and is it Notting Hill? Notting Hill.
Yeah, it was a bit like that, but there wasn't any cool Welshman in it. The Perth. And yeah. But I do have to also say that there was a point about halfway through where Kate was like, "We need to turn this off, this is awful." And I was like, "No, we've started this now. I need to
you're into it. So.
I need to see what happens." And so it's just J-Lo walking around in like all different at one point she has a workout for no reason apart from the fact that we can get some shots of her in like
so you stuck with it for the research for the podcast. You're a good man, bro.
Yeah, and then after that it's suggested Made from Manhattan, which I said we can watch it if you want, and then that was frowned upon. And also, for a joke, when you go in the room, when you go into bed at night, don't put Jenny from the Block onto the room as you're going to bed, because it's not as funny as you think it's going to be.
Lesson learned there.
Yeah, I nearly got kicked in the rocks that I've got. But yeah, Marry Me was. I think J-Lo in the film, she becomes like a better person, blah blah blah. And she goes to the school and helps out and all that. I think Jennifer Lopez thinks that she did that. Okay. I think she thinks, yeah, but I've been to schools and helped kids and worked with them. I was like, that was in a film. You didn't really marry Owen Wilson. You're with Batman.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I think she genuinely thinks that happened and she's done some good deeds and changed her life a bit for the better, rather than being the selfish bitch everyone else says she is.
Okay.
But it was quite interesting. Yeah.
Well, it must have been. We spent more time talking about that than any other film.
Yeah.
There we go.
Marry Me.
No.
That's what it's called.
You got watched anything else?
No, I'm done.
Okay, I got one last thing to mention. The Power on.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Amazon, or it could be again Paramount. I get confused now.
Yeah.
It just pops up on my feed. This is where 11 and 12-year-old girls suddenly develop a superpower where they can almost generate electricity, basically.
Okay.
It's actually really good. It's a little bit preachy for obvious reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually got a fair point to it. But again, not a lot's actually happening. It's like maybe even 6 episodes in, there's no overarching story other than the kids are getting power.
Yeah.
Is the main girl the girl who got killed in Hunger Games?
I've never watched Hunger Games. Why would I? Why you must? 20 odd years we've known each other. On what planet do you think I would have ever watched Hunger Games?
Room.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. You might have done.
No, I don't know.
You got kids now. Gotta be cool. You can't shut it all out.
I've got an 18-month-old and an approaching 4-year-old. Do you think they're going to be watching Hunger Games?
Oh,
or at least the reboot.
The only other thing, not watching, playing. Resident Evil.
You're not. Oh, okay.
Resident Evil 4 on PlayStation 5, really good.
Really though?
Yeah, really good.
Because they went the way of the films. To be fair.
No, it's good so far. I like it because it's hard, but not too hard. It's not Elden Rings.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so boring now. Yeah, I'm having to run around just trying to power up for the next 65.
Are they going back to just general shoot 'em up again? Yeah. See, that's me out. I can't be doing that.
Oh, we can still little tasks, and you have to like upgrade stuff and collect things, but that's good.
Just Call of Duty with zombies.
I don't know. Bit better than Well, it's completely different Call of Duty.
Shitty zombies.
Anyway, it's good. Good so far. Done. Me done.
Over and out. While it was only a modest hit at the box office, it became a massive hit on home video, rentals and television, becoming one of the most rented films of 1990. It's gone on to gain a very large cult following, spawning 4 sequels, 1 prequel, and its own TV series. Tonight, we put the spotlight on Tremors. So, let's just go through the main cast, I reckon, and then we can talk about our memories, our love of the film,
I was
maybe.
going to say, there's 7 films now.
Is there 7? I thought it was...
It's gone up.
It's gone up since I read this. We took a 2-week break in that time, didn't we?
You need to get in quick nowadays
Yeah.
with Tremors.
Definitely. Okay, so we got Kevin Bacon as Valentine Val McKee, Fred Ward as Earl Bassett, Finn Carter as Rhonda LeBeck, Michael Gross as Burt Gummer, Reba McIntyre... I'll start that again. Reba McIntyre as Heather Gummer, Bobby Jacoby as Malvin Plug, Tony Gennaro as Miguel, and Victor Wong as Walter Chang. I think that's pretty much the main cast, and it's pretty more or less everyone that's in the film, to be fair.
Apart from the animatronics and special effects that
Yeah.
are the little Tremor.
Yeah, a little bit of stop motion still.
Yeah, it was just pre
CGI
so
full
before
force.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And Fred Ward, Remo himself, unarmed and dangerous. He should have been bigger. I know he done a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
he should have been up there with Stallone and
I
Schwarzenegger.
agree.
And
Okay,
And that-
so memories, nostalgia. When do we first see Tremors?
I remember getting it on video.
Yeah, so it would have been a Sholing video rental for me.
Yeah,
Definite, get your sweets, get that and another, maybe 1 or 2 films on a Friday night that you had to hand back by Sunday.
yeah.
Definitely. And then it would have been probably a Sunday night job on Sky as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
I
how
mean,
it
this
is.
was heavy rotation
Yeah.
and on Sky early 90s when we first got Sky Movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember as much of it as I thought I did.
No?
So I don't know if that's because maybe they had the like Tremors 2 and Tremors 3 or something, and they were all on, Tremors weekend, which is probably. And I just
I've
watched them on. They've
Yeah.
merged them into one film.
I've definitely seen one of the others because I remember watching. I can't remember which one it was. It was probably
I've definitely
Tremors
seen
2.
Back to Perfection. No. Whatever the prequel.
Prequel. I might have seen the prequel, but I
Yeah.
don't remember anything about it. But yeah.
But it did make me laugh, and just looking this up, that Michael Gross as Burt Gummer would go on to be. I never realised that the dad from Family Ties was basically the patron saint of a cult film franchise.
Yeah.
I didn't realise he'd been in every single one of them to date,
Yeah.
and the TV series. Although one of them he plays the prequel, he's like his ancestor in there, whatever. it
That's
is.
right, yeah. It's one
Oh,
of
it's
the
just-
founding
yeah.
fathers of perfection.
Well, for some reason, they never got Reba McIntyre back. I don't know what else she was up to.
Funnily enough, it was in the latest season of Big Sky.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I
I
recognise
know her
her,
from somewhere.
but obviously a lot younger. So I'm like,
Yeah.
where do I know her from? I know I had to Google it and find out she's a big
And-
country singer. I didn't know
And
that.
Victor Wong is just awesome in whatever he's in ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I definitely remember. I know I've seen it, but I didn't remember. It's probably they've merged with other Tremors.
Yeah, see,
You
for
know.
me, Tremors is one of those that's if you flick over and it's on, I just sit and watch it. So I don't have that issue. I can remember pretty much. I probably wouldn't have needed to rewatch the film to be fair to be having this
Yeah.
conversation, but I did because that's the kind of thing we do for the podcast. So should we get onto the plot?
Let's do this.
Totally. Well, we've got Valentine Val McKee, and he's taking a piss. It's early morning in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and Earl Bassett is fast asleep in the back of his pickup truck. Unable to rouse him, Val decides to trick him into thinking there is a stampede heading their way. It's clear the two are buddies.
Working a job.
It's clear the two are buddies working a job. And after a game of rock, paper, scissors to decide who makes breakfast, the working day begins. A couple of fence posts and a bit of barbed wire later, and it's time to head into town to literally take out the trash, which is another of their jobs. But Earl's had enough. He wants a better employment, better prospects, a better future, whilst Val seems content with his lot in life. I like this. This was pure Steinbeck.
Yeah.
Mice and men, American dream, working on the fat of the land.
Exactly.
Yeah. Modern day Steinbeck.
Yeah. Definitely. It's got that kind of
Yeah,
Western vibe to it.
just sitting on some bits of trash that that's just littering their little inhabited dwelling. It's because it's more that sprawling campsite type thing that they live in, isn't it?
Perfection.
Yeah, no, but just them as well. It's like a little campsite that they basically just lay around during the day as well.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But it's good. I like the way it establishes our two heroes. We get the sort of older brother vibe. Because he's still cool.
Well, and to
Of
be fair,
Earl. And Val is kind of...
and to be fair, no matter how old Kevin Bacon gets, he could always play the younger brother, couldn't he? let's be honest.
That's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a nice setup. Establishes our characters and where they are in life.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching a buddy movie here. Straight away we know that. Classic 80s.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the two are back in their truck when they spot a geologist, obviously, who's taking readings off in the distance. Remembering that the new geologist is supposed to be a woman. Hey. Val swears off the road and heads in her direction, fantasising about what she could look like. They arrive to find Rhonda, a graduate student conducting seismology tests in the area. Val struggles to hide his disappointment as she is not what he hoped for. Rhonda reveals that she has been getting strange readings from her seismology equipment and wonders if anyone is doing any blasting or drilling in the area. Val scoffs at the idea of anything like that taking place around here. So we kind of know where this is going to go with the potential love interest from the get-go.
Yeah.
Boom! Love interest introduced straight away.
Yeah.
But she didn't have her hair up and glasses on.
No.
All she had was some sunscreen
on her nose. Yeah.
So it was like this woman's ugly.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to like her.
And she's a bit ditzy because she then, as they drive off, she remembers that she's got the sunscreen on her nose.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I felt a bit bad for the actress there. Like, we're going to build up that you're hot, and then we're going to see what they're not.
Well, it's just like Clark Kent Superman, isn't it? She had a bit of sunscreen, he had his glasses.
It was the 80s, so, misogyny was rife back in the day.
But, yeah.
So Val and Earl arrive back in the town of Perfection and enter Walter Chang's store. Here we are introduced to Heather and Bert Grummer, a couple of survivalist nut jobs, and they're in the store to buy bullets. Meanwhile, back out in the desert, Rhonda is setting up some more equipment. As she loads up her truck, the ground starts to shake and something underground is shifting the earth and making its way towards her. Just as it seems to reach the point of attacking her, she shuts the car door and starts the engine, oblivious to the imminent danger. Back in town, Earl and Val are on septic tank duty, thinking of a better life. When the tank leaks Sarah them both in shit, the decision to leave town is made.
Yeah, so it's almost like a Jaws type thing where we're getting we don't know what it is. Yeah. Well, we do because we've seen it before, but we don't know what it is yet.
We've seen the front cover of the
but we don't know what it is. but something's gonna get it. It's gonna eat her. But we know it's not going to because she's going to be one of the main characters.
She's the main love interest.
So building up the tension.
But they do bait and switch the reveal quite well, actually. And I'm jumping ahead here, but They don't go into it straight away. It does build it up nicely,
Yeah.
a la Jaws, and also it reminded me a little bit of Evil Deadish as well, where it chases them through the woods, and you get a bit of that.
Oh yeah, because the camera's quite low,
Low,
it's
yeah.
low to the floor, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
And they're quite, I liked how they done it, because at this point, I could remember like the Val and her adventures and sort of trying to blow things up, whatever. But like the other characters, I'd forgotten about. So just seeing that, and just septic tanks are always funny,
and it unashamedly introduces the other characters that we either think they're going to get bumped off quite soon, or you're already imagining how they're going to die. So the nut job's buying the ammo. It's like, great. They're obviously going to be shooting the hell out of one of the beasts at some point. And yeah, the fact that they just get covered in shit is just slapstick humour. Unashamedly,
redneck slapstick.
Yeah.
But have we had a Heather and Bert Grummer kind of survivalist nutjobby kind of thing? Have we had that one that early in the kind of late 80s, early 90s?
The only one I could think of was almost Police Academy.
Who was a survivalist in that?
Where you had
We had Tackleberry.
Tackleberry and his family.
Yeah, but he was more like, they were just gun crazy.
Well, yeah.
No, but these are guys, they've been building their bunker for years, and that's what he said later on. You get all that time, he came up through the ground or something.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to think, have we had, because there are films about cults and survivors and stuff. I was trying to think, is this the first sort of introduction of sort of characters like this?
I genuinely can't think of any.
I was trying to think of any,
89 when this was filmed. So maybe not.
Don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Write to us at confectionpodcast@email.com.
No, at mail.com.
Mail.com, I should say.
That's why no one's getting through.
Yeah.
But anyway, so covered in shit and slightly annoyed, they decided to leave town. So Val and Elle pack up their stuff and they even turn down their offer for free beer and head off out of perfection for good. A new life is ahead of them, and maybe they'll get a chance to feed the rabbits. And as they get to the nearby town of Bigsby is where they're going to. En route, though, they discover the dead body of another resident, Edgar Deems, perched atop an electrical tower, still grasping the tower's crossbeam with his rifle. And that was Edgar Deems was the guy that rents out the barn to Patrick Swayze and Roadhouse.
Cool.
So he did other things playing an old crazy
It's all connected.
Right, yeah. Jim Wallace, the town's doctor, determines that Edgar died of dehydration, apparently having been too afraid to climb down. Whilst all this is happening, Shepherd Fred is out in his paddock with his sheep, and they're getting more and more agitated. And seeing no immediate threat, he ignores it, but is suddenly dragged deeper underground, Jamiroquai style.
That's going to be my head now for the rest of the night.
Thanks, mate. So again, just setting up. There's something going on.
Yeah.
Something not quite
Something's
breaking
going
them
down in
apart.
this town.
Yeah.
And I like the scope of it. We're getting to see, you got the sheep man over there, the towers over there. Because they were leaving town. This is right on the edge of town. They're almost out. You've got the doctors over there. You're getting to see all these different... It's not just a little Wild West cardboard cutout town front, like Blazing Saddles. This is a big sort of spread out community.
Yeah. And it's just the very fact, where she's saying, oh, I've got some jobs round that you could, keep you set up for the next few months. And I'll throw in free beer. It's like, good cow. But no.
They thought about it.
Yeah.
It was tempting, but no.
But just like the mafia, there's no escape for them.
Do we ever see that woman again?
I'm not so sure that we do. Well, we must do.
I think she's still there. I think she's the one person we don't see again.
Maybe so.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay. So Val and Earl discovers Fred's severed head and believe that a serial killer is on the loose. They head back into town, warning two construction workers as they go. They ignore Val and Earl's warning and are killed by the same creature, causing a rock slide. Val and Earl try to find help after warning the residents, but find the phone lines are dead. Day before mobiles, you see. And that the rock sliders block the only road out of town. Out of sight, a snake-like creature wraps itself around their truck's rear axle, but is torn apart when Val stomps on the accelerator and drives away. Back in town, the residents notice the creature stuck in the rear axle. Unsure what it is, Bert removes it with a shovel, and Walter offers to buy it. Of course he does.
And since that day, Kevin Bacon has tried to make sure everyone has a mobile phone and a good connection.
Yeah. I like that. Just this guy that, shitty town in the middle of nowhere. He's already thinking to himself,
yeah,
I can draw some visitors in here.
Exactly, yeah.
Stick this, what we later call a graboid, up on a wall.
Yeah. Probably next to some inbred kid that he finds from a farm down the road.
I wasn't sure he was going to cook it.
Oh.
I kind of had the vibe that he might cook it.
No, that's a good shout, actually, yeah.
Maybe just because of what happens later on that I'm thinking...
Yeah. At that point, I was like, is he going to eat that?
And again, we're still getting the build-up.
Slow
tentacle
reveal.
by tentacle.
Slow reveal.
Okay, so that night, Dr. Wallace and his wife Megan are at the construction site of their new home when their generator goes out. Upon investigation, Wallace discovers it's just disappeared. Just as they're trying to work out what's going on, the generator is howled out of the ground. Deciding it's probably best not to hang around, they make their way back to the station wagon to leave. Wallace is grabbed by an unseen creature and dragged underground. A snake-like creature similar to the one on the axle comes up and attacks Megan. She escapes and locks herself in the car as more of the creatures surround it. Gradually the car is dragged underground. Meanwhile, back in town, the residents are in Walter's shop. He has set up the creature as an attraction and is encouraging everyone to take a photo with it. The townsfolk decide the only way to get help is to ride to Bixby, and the two best riders in town are Val and Errol.
Of course they are, yeah.
I love what happens to the doctor and his wife. I thought that was one of the better
It's a bit
bits.
sick, but...
And also, but also like the revelation coming up makes it even better when they go to try and find them and what they find. It's just like, because you get like, wow, that's really bad, and then you see later on, and it's, it plays really well. And again, we are now getting a seriousness to these creatures or whatever they are. We've seen some deaths, we've had a couple of funny moments with it.
But and also the fact that it drags a car underground.
Yeah,
it's not just a couple of little snakes.
Yeah. It's not just this little
It's
thing we've
escalated.
seen, there's more to it.
It's gone south pretty quickly.
And also the medical expert's been taken out.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like it's almost like it's its own SWAT team. It's took down like the communication lines. Now it's taken out the medical expert.
Yep.
It's
killed all the sheep, so they're going to run out of food pretty soon.
There's no food. Yeah, it's almost like it's taken them out. It's like a bred military weapon. Hello, sequels. Right, yes. So Val and Errol borrow horses to ride to Bixby for help. They come across Wallace and his wife's buried station wagon near the trailer, but no trace of the couple. And that's a really nice bit because they're looking for him, but they can hear music, can't they? Old like cowboy music playing. And then they realise that it's the station wagon completely buried, and their reaction to that is what sells it because they absolutely like, shit, we gotta get out of here. We can bury that. So they as they press on, something spooks the horses and they are thrown on the floor. And while they're trying to regain control, another snake creature comes out of the ground and kills one of the horses. Val shoots it, then an enormous burrowing worm-like monster suddenly erupts out of the ground, revealing the snake-like creature to be one of the worm's many tentacled tongues. The men flee with the monster in pursuit. The chase ends when the eyeless creature crashes through the concrete wall and of adjacent viaduct, dying on impact.
It's an aqueduct. Viaduct is above, and aqueduct is below.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Just
Mr.
saying.
Plumber. It was below by the end of it. But yeah, Again, even before Terminator 2. But yeah, now we're getting to see what we're dealing with. The revelation of what it can do, burying that whole car, station wagon is freaky enough. That makes them want to hightail it out of there. And then we see the chair, then we see it's smashed into the wall, and we'll get to
the full scope of what they're dealing with.
And that these snakes we've been dealing with are just like the tongues.
The very tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so Rhonda stumbles onto the scene and they start to dig it out to get a better look. As Al and Rhonda break away the concrete, they deduce it has tentacles that grab its prey and pull it into its mouth. Meanwhile, Val is digging around up top and finds the back end of the creature. Realising they have a major scientific discovery on their hands and a surefire way to make money, Val and Al start formulating a plan to get the creature back to perfection.
Can I just stop you there? Is there a reason you...
I always get confused from the very get-go of the podcast 18 months ago, whenever it was, when we weren't going to use bad language.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I forget. That's the only reason.
Self-censoring.
Rhonda is looking at her fucking chart. Rhonda's looking at her chart readings and theorises that there must be another 3 of these creatures in the area. As they are heading back to Rhonda's truck, they notice the seismograph spiking and run to a cluster of boulders for safety just as another creature reaches them. Trapped, they begin to speculate on their origin. Val starts hitting the ground with a stick, and a tentacle rises up and tries to grab him. Surmising that the creatures hunt their prey by detecting seismic vibrations. Good job they had a seismologist on board.
Yeah.
They opt to spend the night on the cluster. They are cluster fucked.
Nice.
That should have been the sequel. I'm picking up good vibrations. Yeah, again, the peril is upon us. I love the fact where he sort of dug out the back of it and go, look, it goes all the way back here. And again, that it's revealed then. We see what they're up against.
And it's cool as well, because everyone in that situation, as long as it was dead, would be thinking, actually, can I get some money out of this?
I can make some money out of it.
Definitely. There's no moral heroics at this point. It's just all about fat cash and beers.
Yeah. Cool. So the next morning, all 3 awake, cold and out of options. Val and Elle begin arguing about what to do while Rhonda finds some discarded poles, as you do going around supporters, and opts to use them to pole vault over to another set of boulders. We then get treated to a jaunty little tune as the 3 of them make their way to Rhonda's truck and escape. Back at Walter's store, Val, Earl and Rhonda are explaining the situation to the few of the townsfolk, and they soon begin to realise they're running out of options. The creatures are heading straight for them, and the valley is just one big smorgasbord. With the phones out, the road blocked, and no radio signal, they have to leave perfection one way or another. Rhonda suggests heading to the mountains and hiking to the nearest town, as the creatures can't get through solid rock.
Yeah, I must admit, I was looking at them doing their little pole vaulting, thinking, I don't know if I could have done that. Yeah, I would have wanted some practice goes at least, you know. But yeah, I think that's where I would have lost. You'd have lost me in the film. I'd have fallen off.
Yeah, I think I'd have said, you go.
Yeah.
Bring the truck.
Yeah.
Come and get me.
That was a bit lost me. It was just, I get it, but it was too overdone.
What do you mean too overdone?
Pole vault in one rock would have been cool. It was almost like it turned into the circus for a second.
Yeah, so that was the comedy relief, wasn't it?
I know it's
the break,
comedy.
it's that little tension break in the middle of the film.
But the comedy it set up was so much more sophisticated. Like at the beginning, when Kevin Bacon is just missing that fence post for ages, and then just hits it in the last one.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Even maybe he looks like he's laughing when he's doing it.
He improvised that.
Yeah, but again, that cool. I get that. And then we've gone from that to sort of like more common-wise set pieces or something, and it was just kind of.
Well,
I don't know.
that can go one of two ways. They could have done that, with that little jaunty tune, or they could have eked it out and done a couple of bits where Rhonda doesn't quite make it, or Val doesn't quite make it, and there's a scramble. So.
Yeah,
Given the two options,
I get what they've done. I think maybe if they just done it like from the once to bridge a big gap, I think I could have done it.
Yeah, but you need to realise what kind of film this is, though, Brett. So this
I do. I like all the other stuff.
Yeah, but this isn't, as Davey said, this isn't them trying to scale one rock to another, and we get half hour of them. You know.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Let's have a quick comedy montage of them pole vaulting from one rock to another.
You know, it was filmed in the 80s, so there needs to be a little bit of a montage in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And see, obviously, because it was in the... Oh, we're going to come on to that in a minute.
Okay.
But that was just the one bit I was a bit like...
To be fair, it's only like about a minute. It shouldn't really...
Yeah, but I was enjoying it.
Detract
And
you too much.
That bit was just a bit silly.
Okay.
No, I was okay, the rest of
the film, you know, giant worms that can travel.
Yeah, but that was in its bit of silly, and then it's just sort of like
them getting covered in shit. But hey, you know,
yeah, I can cope with that. That fit.
But pole vaulting some rocks.
I think it was almost forced in there.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm okay now. Is it me?
Yeah. So now we've had the comedy little skit.
Is that bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking for a bit weird about there. Well, there's tension. Anyway, tension then starts to build as Nancy heads off to find her pogo stick obsessed daughter Mindy, and Melvin goes off to play in the street. A few seconds later, Melvin screams and the residents rush out to find him clinging to the top of a telegraph pole. The creatures attack and panic ensues, and even the little kids aren't safe. What evil creatures they are. As they rush to get back to the store, they all spot Mindy pogoing her way up the street. Unable to hear their calls, she continues bouncing merrily away. That was why I didn't like it, because I thought it then took away from this bit. Because the pole vaulting and the bouncing, I think if it was just her bouncing innocently, missing everything, that would have been really cool. But then the pole vault thing was almost them doing what she's doing. I think that was when I didn't like it.
Okay.
Thinking back.
No, she's pogoing, making vibrations.
Oh no, pogos, yeah.
They're just putting down the stick and jumping across.
Yeah. But I think that was it was almost the same joke though, and it was sort of, I think that's what took it away. Anyway, Val and Mindy's mum reach her just in time to save her from attack. Meanwhile, Rhonda has managed to get entangled in barbed wire. Oh, that Rhonda. Unable to get clear, Val tells her to ditch her pants, and they escape back into the store. While Rhonda is receiving medical attention, the store's freezer starts vibrating and alerting the creatures to their presence. Walter is grabbed and killed, and the rest head to the reef for safety and shout to everyone else to do the same.
Yeah, see, I don't mind this. We had the little pogo stick, build up of tension.
Yeah.
Is the creature going to get it? Is it not? Oh, she can't hear us.
Cool. And you've got
does she have a Walkman on or something?
Yeah, she's got a Walkman on. Yeah, there's two callbacks here because we see the pogo girl.
Yeah, because she's trying
at
to
the
beat
very
a record,
beginning.
isn't
Yeah,
she?
because like, how many is it?
Yeah.
It's almost like the banjo playing Deliverance.
Yeah.
We get to see her again.
And we've also got the same thing because when they're in the store originally and the freezer starts making that noise and so we've got to fix that thing. It's like we'll get round to it or whatever.
And obviously because it's the 80s, she has to lose her trousers.
Yeah, it's top or bottoms, isn't it?
Yeah,
this was the 80s exactly.
There's no need for it.
No,
but you know,
I was fine with the trouser. I get that, but did we really need to see a gash get patched up by the medical attention people?
But
go on, we're going to age. We need a Chevy Chase joke.
Meanwhile,
but I really like this bit. Sorry, I was just gonna say this is where it goes zombie. This is your Romero.
Yeah.
Get to the rooftops.
They're stuck in the store. Yeah.
It's Day of the Dead.
How fast? Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
yeah.
I get.
And all that sort of thing. I like that.
All right. So meanwhile, survivalist couple Bert and Heather Gummer are back at home in their safe little bunker.
In the Burt cave.
Yeah. Bert manages to hail Val on the radio and just about gets the message about them travelling underground as a creature crashes through the wall. Luckily for Heather and Bert, they have a huge armoury big enough to mount a coup in a small African nation. So this mother humper has broke into the wrong rec room. Back in town, the two remaining creatures attack the building foundations, knocking over a trailer belonging to Nestor before dragging him under and devouring him. Realising they can't stay in the town any longer, Earl, Rhonda and Miguel distract the monsters while Val commandeers a track loader and chains a semi-trailer to the rear. The survivors use it to try and escape to the nearby mountain range. Yeah, so a nice shoot off where they literally go through all of the guns.
Yeah. Even coming to an elephant gun towards the end. But this is like it's all. I mean, it's like part tribute to survivalist nut jobs.
Yeah.
Part piss take.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like.
You say they're mad, but they didn't have all those guns.
And it's like, you know, they stopped midway through to ask which rifle, like, you know, what should I use next? And I couldn't even tell you the name of a gun, but you know what I mean? It's like the M674. No, that doesn't pack enough punch. Go for the M678.
Yeah, this is just. I was just stitching this because, again, like I said before, this is I forgot the actor's name now. But this is, you know, Michael J. Fox's dad in Family Ties, who up to this point had been the most straight-laced sitcom dad in the history of the world. It turns out he's got great comedy chops, and I feel sorry for him. We didn't get to see much more of it, but then he probably made millions in that show.
I can imagine exactly.
But, you know, it was brilliant.
And I mean, even back in the day, they were probably getting not quite Friends salary per episode.
Yeah, but probably equivalent at the time. But, but I just thought that guy's been wasted in all this thing. He needed more. Cut him off the lead a bit more.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see a series now of him and John Locke. Who are like old brothers who just travel around, two old men, but
in a camper van.
But solve problems.
It's always in a camper van.
Solve problems in the town and then move on to the next one next week. You know, one's the computer
Is this
guy,
produced by
one's yes,
Benicero or
Stephen J. Canal.
No, yeah, something like that. You know, that's what I want now. But yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
It was really cool scene.
Yeah. So with all the townsfolk in the trailer, they head off to pick up Bert and Heather, who have been using the time to make pipe bombs and grab as much ammo as they can. Just as they think they're on the home stretch, the creatures create a sinkhole trap that disables the trailer. Realising that Bert's pipe bombs hurt the creatures, they use them to create enough noise to flee to some nearby boulders again for safety. Al then has an idea to lure the word. I can't say that word. Lure. Yeah, that's the one. The worms and trick them into swallowing the pipe bombs. The strategy successfully kills one, but the last one spits the bomb back towards the survivors, forcing them to disperse as the explosion destroys all but one of the remaining bombs.
The classic Jaws setup.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Was it when he asked him what's in it, and he's like everything or everything, household
chemicals in the right combination or something like that. Yeah. So we for health and safety reasons we can't tell you. So.
We've covered it enough. We've mentioned what it is, but we haven't told you what it is. Yeah. But nice bit of tension
and how quickly they turn on each other. I can't believe you made us leave our safety of our rooftop, and now we're stuck on a boulder. That's save your life, man.
Yeah, that's human nature. But I was just at this point, you know, Barrett's come into his own now.
Yeah,
and bit of background character for like the first sort of hour, and now he's slowly.
Now he's the man.
It is called for a man of his particular set of skills to come aboard. And so anyway, they're stuck in the middle of nowhere. Val, Al, and Rhonda are sitting ducks, but Val has a goddamn plan and runs. The other two follow. Reaching the edge of a cliff, Val lights the remaining pipe bomb and throws it behind the creature, frightening it into charging through the cliff face, where it plummets to its death onto the rocks below. The group returns to town, where they call in the authorities to begin an investigation, while Earl encourages Val to pursue a romantic relationship with Rhonda.
Yeah, in typical Big Brother style.
Yeah. And we get like a snog at the end where he chases after her and like, you know, she was well up for it, but clearly does give consent.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, it was a nice end to the film, and it shows you that he may be a down and out odd job man, but he's still got a brain. Enough that a seismology or seismologist might find his brain attractive as well as his body and his charm and his humour.
Yeah.
They're a perfect match. And she's taken the sunscreen off her nose now, so she's actually, and her pants off, so he's seen the whole package.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay. Should we go straight to it? What do we think?
I thought it was great. Great laugh. It was exactly what it needed to be, what it set out to be. It wasn't trying to get an Oscar or Palme d'Or. It was, we're going to make an hour and a half long film. We're going to put in some tension, lots of comedy. It didn't take itself seriously because that's not what this film is about. I thought it did it really, really well, as I hoped, and you know, in my memory, it was.
Yeah.
And even, you know, time has moved on. I thought the creature special effects were cool. They didn't take away anything from the film.
No, there's a few moments where you can tell it's stop motion, but
yeah,
it's not. It doesn't really detract. To be fair.
No, but it's the cool stop motion where it was alright when it was still alright to like stop motion.
We like stop motion here. Mad God, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think it did everything it set out to be. It had the buddies, it had the peril, had the comedic intervention.
And also, you get the bit at the end because the way he got him and scared him was the story mate he kept telling all the way through it, wasn't it?
It's literally a callback.
So he nicked his mate's story and saved the day with it. So
and it's just nice seeing Kevin Bacon saving one town from dance, and then moving on to saving a town.
He's an adaptable man. He's an adaptable man.
Some might say he's footloose and fancy free.
Summers?
No, again, I really liked it. I'm intrigued to see. I may need to shake down the rest of the franchise now because I'm just having a look. We've got obviously Tremors, then there's Tremors 2, Aftershocks, Tremors 3, Back to Perfection, Tremors 4, The Legend Begins, Tremors 5, Bloodlines, then there's Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell, and then Tremors Shrieker Island, which was 2020. So,
oh wow,
you know,
that's the TV series, isn't it?
Nah, and then the TV series was, bear with me, because the TV series I think comes between 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. I've just read that. The TV series is 13 episodes. That was 2003. But old Burt Gummer, Michael Gross or Gross, however you want to say it, is there most of the way through. Fred Ward pops back.
Fred Ward's in the second one because that's the one where he's spanked all his money because they made money off the like pretty much like they say in the film. I think they become sort of celebrities. I think because there's the bit at the very beginning of the film, it's either in the sort of where they do those kind of swirly newspaper credit things. It's something like that, or it's supposed to. I can't remember exactly, but it's Time magazine and it's them on the front of it. Like they say, like they mention when they find the first graboid. So yeah, he's spanked all his money and he has to go and save some oil refinery or something from more graboids. Yeah. So he takes that job, but I think that's the last one he was in.
And the pilot was shot for a second TV series in 2017, but it was cancelled and they passed on. Sci-Fi passed on the pilot.
Fair enough. That's probably a wise move, to be fair.
But But yeah, it's pretty much from scanning it. It's all kept in continuity. Different people pop back in different ones, and even the TV series fits in between what happens between the films, and they pick it up the next film followed on from the TV series and that. So, no, I'm definitely intrigued to dive in further. As I say, I'm sure I've seen some of them.
Must have done. Like I say, I've definitely seen 2, and I've definitely seen the prequel. That just literally came across that when it was
I'm
on
sure
Sci-Fi
I remember
Channel
someone
years ago.
like chasing it in a truck, and then they blow up from the truck. But that could be
That's
that
the second one.
That must be the second. Yeah.
Sure is.
But yeah, no, a pleasure to watch, and yeah, and very fun.
Cool. Same as I enjoyed every minute of it again for probably the 1000th watch. There's just nothing not to like about this film. So, ratings?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna go a solid 7. Trusty, reliable. You know what you're gonna get. You know you'll enjoy it. And again, it's one of those films that you say if it's on, you'll probably carry on watching it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8. I enjoyed it that much.
Cool.
So there we go. That's Tremors.
Tremors.
So, as we always do at this point, our spotlight is going to fall onto another film.
Could be new.
It could be new.
Or
The
TV,
choice
or TV series.
or TV series. It wasn't really that successful the last time we did it, though, was it? So
No. It's
anyway.
not a TV series.
Good.
And I'm going to give you 2. Well, God, this might get complex. Damien,
Yes.
because I don't want to give you both a choice of 1 or 2, because you might choose 1 and you might choose 2. So you can pick either number 1 or number 2. Which door do you want to open?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, I think you would have liked number 1 better, but we're going to go for number 2
We'll get there
this week.
eventually. We'll get to number 1 eventually.
Okay, so we are going to go back in time. It's not a new film. It's from 1998.
Ooh.
Now I remember
Probably
watching.
more recent than some of the
Yeah.
films we've done.
Now I remember watching this, probably on Sky. I probably had a few beers and don't remember much about it, apart from lots of cityscapes moving around and it being dark.
I watched it with you.
Dark City.
Yeah.
Oh. So I don't remember much about it.
Now, this is a film I've wanted to revisit for a long time, actually.
Cool. So obviously, Dark City is one of those films. Highly
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, Rufus Sewell, Richard O'Brien, and Jennifer Connelly, which was probably the reason I wanted to watch it in the first place. But it's a really interesting one because a lot of the sets for this were basically sold off to the producers of Matrix when they were filming. And as I say, kind of I think it's described as a neo-noir science fiction thriller.
Neo-noir.
Should have been a lot bigger than it was from memory.
Yeah. But as I said, I don't remember too much about it, but critically acclaimed. Always wanted to go back and watch it, so I thought I'd use this as an excuse.
Okay, so it's available on Amazon for $3.49.
And Apple TV as well,
And
depending
Apple
on
TV,
what's
same
easiest
price.
to subscribe.
So if you want to play along at home, I probably have seen this, but it took me a while to even, I've had to Google it to even recognise it.
And Rufus Sewell's always one of those ones, could have gone really big,
Yeah.
but for some reason just didn't land a
Yeah.
blockbuster.
And Melissa George.
Fresh off of Home and Away by this point then.
Yeah.
Cool, there we go. So that's what we will be watching this week for next week's podcast. As we say, if you want to play along at home, you can watch it on Amazon for $3.49, YouTube for $3.49, Google Play Movies for $3.49, and Apple TV for $3.49.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And you may be able to pick up a cheap DVD on
Yeah.
on the eBay or other such auction type sites.
You're selling them off, are you, Brett?
No, I don't actually have this.
Oh, that's got to be a first, isn't it?
That's what's nice. I haven't had to go back and watch it. I've been waiting for like some sort of super Blu-ray.
Cool. Right, so there we have it. In the meantime, you can
Listen.
catch up with us on TikTok,
Facebook,
Twitter, the usual social
Instagram.
medias. Yeah, I forget what Instagram. I don't use Instagram, so I always forget that one.
You're so cool.
Yeah, I'm above all that.
Oh.
If you want to see the latest news, reviews, opinion pieces,
Sometimes competitions,
you head to our mothership, which is
cultfaction.com.
If you want to contact us directly via mail, you can do so using the following address.
cultfactionpodcast@mail.com.
Well done. Not email.com,
No.
like I keep saying.
You can even I don't know whether this is a new thing but on TikTok now, you can even message us.
Yeah, you can message on most social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never noticed that before on TikTok.
We do get the occasional message. Not.
No, but this isn't to a post or one of our videos. This is literally just messaging us. Did you always know that can happen?
Yeah, and that happens on those social
Oh, I
medias.
don't use TikTok other than for us.
And if you put a stamp on it, it arrives.
And as usual, please, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, and the other preferred podcast apps,
Yeah.
Review
Review
us.
us, rate us, recommend us. It
tell your
all
friends,
does help.
tell your enemies, tell your gran, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell anyone.
Just leave it playing all night. You know, it's alright. I've done it for people when their new albums come out or something. I'll just play it all night.
Cool. That's all the housekeeping done, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
think
believe
so.
it is.
It is.
So next time we're back with Dark City.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
And a farewell from me.
Goodbye.